Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I'm Jag from Jag's Watches, and remember, on this channel we talk all things watches without taking ourselves too seriously. Now in today's video, I'm on a mission. I want to buy myself my first luxury watch. Now, I know what you're probably thinking if you watch the previous video, I already have a luxury watch. However, I've come to the time now in my life where I feel like I deserve to treat myself, and yeah, a couple of milestones in my life where I've hit, and I feel like I'm ready and I deserve to buy myself my first luxury watch. It's down to three contenders. We've got the Oyster Perpetual 41mm, we have the Harrods Tudor, and the third, which only recently came into play actually, was the Grand Seiko, and it's the reference SBGE271. Why you would name a watch that, I do not know, but they have it. They're the three that I've got in mind. Knowing me, they'll probably change over time, but those are the three that I'm looking at. Now, before we deep dive into the three options, I'll give you a criteria for my first luxury watch, and I want my first watch to tick as many boxes as possible. The first is budget. I want this watch to be between £3,000 to £5,000, give or take a couple of £100. This is a lot of money for me, and that's why I'm taking so much time and effort into researching what watch to get. But I feel like it's a great entry-level budget, and it's a watch that I do want to keep for a long, long time. Now, the second criteria is everyday wear. I want to be able to wear this watch to work, not care too much about it. I don't want it to be my beater, but at the same time, I don't mind if I knock it or scratch it or whatever. I want it to be a watch that I can just pick up and wear and not have to think twice. A third criteria is a timeless design. I'm looking for a timeless watch, a timeless design where in 10, 20, 30 years time, it's still going to look great. Now, 4 is build quality. I think when you're spending £3,000 to £5,000, the build quality shouldn't really come into play, but it may well do so. It just needs to withstand a little bit of beating. Hopefully doesn't just fall apart after a couple of years. Fifth criteria is understated, nothing too loud. And the reason I want that to be the case with the first purchase is because I'll be wearing it every day, so it needs to just be appropriate in all situations. But also because I live in London and I don't want to get robbed, I don't want to get attacked, I don't want to get targeted, so I want a watch that is understated, but you know, those in the know what watch it is, if you know what I mean. Right, with that in mind, let's have a look at the contenders. We'll start off with the Oyster Perpetual 41mm. Now, this particular watch, there's two dial variants that I'm looking at, which is the green and the black. I know what you're thinking. The green is very loud and it's very recognizable. It's the classic Rolex green. However, when you see this watch in person, it's quite a matte green and it doesn't really reflect light. It doesn't really attract too much attention, in my opinion. It's a very sleek design. It's very thin, so it can sort of hide underneath the cuff. The black I really like as well, and again, I think that probably fits the more everyday wear. A lot of people feel like the Oyster Perpetual is a boring watch. Yes, it's the entry-level Rolex. However, I feel like it's probably one of the best Rolexes, and that's probably backed up by the fact that it's really difficult to get at retail. I have put my name down, and that's definitely one factor that I need to kind of consider, is how soon will I get the call, and will I even get the call? I'm not too optimistic, put it that way. Now with the Oyster Perpetual, let's go through some of the specs here. It's a case diameter 41mm, a case thickness of 11.7mm, lug to lug of 47.4mm, lug width of 21mm, which is a little bit odd, and the material is steel. It's got a great movement in it with the Rolex caliber 3230 with a 70-hour power reserve and 100 meters water resistance. I feel like the OP is the epitome of less is more. And I guess that's what I'm looking for with my first watch. Next up, we've got a watch which is a little louder, but at the same time, I do think it's understated. It's the Tudor Black Bay Harrods edition. I actually went to Harrods a couple of times to try this watch on, and I have to say it fit like a glove. The one thing that really sticks out regarding this watch is that green bezel. It's that classic Harrods green, and I feel like I prefer this to the Kermit and the Starbucks Submariner. I know that's quite a bold claim, but in terms of the aesthetics, the faux patina on the dial, It's a beautiful looking watch. If we go into some of the specifics of this particular watch, the case diameter is 41 millimeters, case thickness is 14.8 millimeters, lug to lug is 50 millimeters, and the lug width is 22 millimeters. Made out of stainless steel. It's got the Tudor caliber MT5602 with 70-hour power reserves and a COSC certification. So it's an accurate watch. There's not much really between the Rolex and this. The Rolex would be a little bit more accurate, but again, for everyday wear, I'm not going to really notice the odd couple of seconds here or there, am I? Now, with this particular watch, as I said, I've already gone to try it on. I've been actually quite hands-on with it, and I really liked it. The only thing that I'm conscious about with this watch is the thickness. It's very thick, and as a result, being made out of steel is quite a heavy watch as well. So that, I think, is probably one of the minus points of this choice. But I have to say it's a beautiful looking watch. Finally, we've got Contender 3, which is a Grand Seiko SBGE271. Now, this watch, as I said, not recently discovered, but a watch which I've been looking at on YouTube and looking at so many different reviews, because it's quite a difficult watch to get hands-on with. I still haven't gotten hands-on with this watch or tried it on even, so quite early on in actually discovering it. I love the dial of this, and I think I've started to really appreciate Grand Seiko over the last couple of years. I definitely will get a Grand Seiko at one point. Is this the right one to get? I'm not sure. The fact that it's a GMT, that black textured dial, it's just a beautiful watch. And I know the finishing with the Zaratsu polishing, there's just a uniqueness to this watch. And at the same time, it ticks the box of being an everyday wear. It's not too loud. Build quality is great. And the spring drive movement, I love the fact that this seconds hand has a smooth sweep. I know that sounds very odd, and it's a thing that maybe a lot of people don't tend to mention, or even want, but that's something that I do want. And I really want to see this watch in person. Now, I really feel like the craftsmanship in this particular piece is out of this world. And if we're just talking about value for money, I think that this watch beats the other two. So there you have it. Those are the three options I'm looking at right now. The OP41, Tudor Harrods, and then the Grand Seiko SBGE271. Let me know in the comments what you would choose, if you would choose any of them at all. Have I missed the mark completely, or is this a good sort of selection for my first entry-level luxury watch? If you've enjoyed watching this video, make sure you like and subscribe. Loads of content to come. And in the next video, I'm going to tell you a story about how actually I rejected a Submariner date from the Rolex AD. And that's a story time. And I know I'm getting a lot of stick for that, but that's the next video. So make sure you subscribe and keep locked for that one. I've been Jag from Jags Watches, and remember, timing is everything. Peace.